Today the question is simple, but the answer will blow your mind. How far would Ben 10 get in Dragon Ball without exaggeration, no hype, just based on what he actually showed? If you think Goku solos everyone, be careful, because today the watch is going to spin and maybe the Omnitrix will go way beyond what you imagine. For those who only recall Ben 10 as a kid yelling about becoming a hero on Cartoon Network, wait a moment. Ben 10 isn't just that kid with a watch. The guy has starred in 4 series, movies, comics, and even left his mark in crazy fanfics. In short, he's one of the most well-developed characters on Cartoon Network. Here, I'll focus solely on the classic Ben from the first generation, spanning Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse. The 2016 reboot number Gwen 10 Ben 23 Mad Ben, also no. Ben 23 Mad Ben, also no. It's the original Ben 10 and his veteran version, Ben 10,000. It all starts with the Omnitrix, one of the most incredible technologies ever created in a cartoon. Created by Azimuth, one of the greatest geniuses in the universe, the Omnitrix is basically a bank of alien DNA. It scans, copies, stores, and allows Ben to transform into any of the species he has collected. In practice, there are more than 70 unlocked aliens. But if you count everything that has ever been mentioned, the DNA bank reaches almost 2,000 species. That's not even counting upgrades like the Ultimate Trix, which puts the aliens to evolve in a simulation of millions of years, creating even stronger ultimate versions. It's important to point out that without the Omnitrix, Ben 10 wouldn't last a single round against any Z-Warrior, unlike those games where you can beat everyone with base Ben 10. Goku, Vegeta, or Kuririn could easily defeat the kid, but with the Omnitrix, there's still much to investigate. Not everything is about cosmic power. Some of Ben 10's basic aliens would be considered monsters in classic Dragon Ball. 4 Arms, the favorite Tetramand, is strong enough to catch missiles in motion, change their trajectory just by twisting his fist, and create giant sonic waves by clapping his hands. Homungosaur goes even further. He can grow several times his size and can lift over 200 tons. Imagine Gohan from the Cell games facing a 20-meter-tall monster with thick skin and absurd dinosaur strength. Well, I don't think Homungosaur would stand a chance, but when it comes to speed, the highlight is Accelerate, 8. For those who don't know, a fun fact, Accelerate, 8 when read in English, is accelerate, which means to speed up, and that fits the character perfectly. Comment below if you knew this fun fact. This alien, even as a kid, could already run at over 800 kilometers per hour. And as an adult, there are hints that he can traverse the globe in seconds, but in the first series, his speed varies greatly, which is common for fast characters. In some episodes, like the baseball one, it seems like he can run so fast that time stops, but in others, he's clearly visible while running. Besides that, there's Jet Ray, who flies through hyperspace from planet to planet, and Clockwork, who not only travels through time, but can literally freeze the flow of time and walk around while everything is stopped. Okay? But up to this point, we're still talking about strength, speed, and some DNA hacks. But Ben has tricks up his sleeve that make all of that look like child's play. Curious how Saitama matches or surpasses Dragon Ball's overpowered gods and characters? Here's where it gets wild. Many believe Alien 10 is the only overpowered character in Ben 10, but Ghost Freak's dark side is formidable too. However, another alien that appears weak could be a nightmare in Dragon Ball, Ghost Freak or Phantasmatico. This creature is a ghost that can become invisible, intangible, and possess anyone's mind he wants. Imagine that. Vegeta is all full of attitude, Super Saiyajin Blue, aura exploding. And out of nowhere, Ghost Freak gets into his head, wipes out his consciousness, and makes him knock himself out. It's pretty much a dirty move, but who said Bane plays fair when the multiverse is at stake? Despite appearances, characters like Vegeta have shown mental defenses, as demonstrated when he freed himself from Babidi's control. The power gap wouldn't leave any openings, which is also thanks to Kai. It wouldn't be that easy. Clockwork, the owner of the time clock, is another one who can't be left out. While Hit plays around with skipping fractions of time, Clockwork stops everything all at once. He literally pauses the flow of time, walks around, rearranges the scene, and he can even age someone until they turn to dust. Or send you to an alternate universe where you were born, I don't know, as a rock. Atomix, an overpowered walking reactor, to be analyzed later for feasibility. If all else fails, try Atomix. This den is an active nuclear power station. He emits radiation, fires nuclear blasts, and can inflict mutations, cancer, and thyroid issues on half the Dragon Ball cast in seconds, but it's hard to believe Dragon Ball characters wouldn't have some defense against radiation, like a Kai barrier, But unexpected attacks are always problematic. And besides that, there's more. Ben can combine DNA, create unlikely fusions, and even mix aliens like Alien X with Atomix, forming the dreaded Atomic X. It's literally a radioactive Alien X, a god with a portable nuclear reactor, so how do you deal with that? Well, we'll see, but hold on, there are some tricks. There's no point in painting everything as if it's so black and white. Every hack has a loophole. Ghost Freak can be resisted by strong minds, like Majin Vegeta. Clockwork can be caught off guard by someone fast enough. Atomix can be taken down before releasing enough radiation, so Ben has the weapons, but he needs to know how to use them. And nothing guarantees that the pure brute force of characters like Goku and Vegeta couldn't break a time prison, for example, like in Hit's case. But we'll leave this time talk for later, because now we're going to take a leap in time. Ben 10,000 up to now, we've talked about Ben as a kid and a teenager, but every true fan knows that Ben 10,000 exists. The veteran, more mature version who carried the Omnitrix his whole life. This guy is basically Ben 10's version of Goku from Grand Tour It's Ben at his peak, with unlimited experience. Ben 10,000 has more unlocked aliens. He masters all of them instinctively, combining powers in combat as if it were second nature. Now we arrive at a fascinating feature, the Omnitrix. And that's where the cherry on top comes in, the Omnitrix. As a reminder, in the Omnitrix version, Ben personally enhanced his ability to fuse aliens without limitations. It's not just switching forms, it's combining the DNAs. And if that wasn't enough, there's a detail that would make the Saiyajins scared bald. The Omnitrix can copy DNA through physical contact. Have you thought about what would happen if Ben touched Goku or Vegeta? He can literally unlock Saiyajin DNA. More than that, if he had contact, he could absorb Goku's fighting instincts and basically become an extremely powerful being. But as seen in the Black Saga, even Black couldn't use Goku's body as skillfully as Goku himself. What made him overpowered was having the key of the gods and an almost brand new body, allowing him to get almost infinite Zenkai boosts. But Vegeta himself says that only someone like Kakarot could use his own cells so well. So maybe that's not the best option, because he would have almost no skills with the Saiyajin race, like transforming, sensing ki, and so on. Another interesting resource we must mention, it'd be a sin not to, is the failsafe. Because if you think taking him down solves it, I'm sorry, the Omnitrix has a failsafe. If Ben is killed in a brutal way, the watch scans the entire DNA bank and reconstructs his body from another species. It's like an automatic respawn. You destroy Ben, but the Omnitrix brings him back to life and in a different way. Despite his incredible abilities, Ben's greatest limitation has always been his own personality and choices. He's not an accountant or a dictator. He doesn't even use the Omnitrix to dominate the universe. Despite having immense power, his instinct is to restrain himself and not go too far. It's the same reason Goku doesn't wipe out villains right away. He wants a fair fight, Ben wants to protect. He knows that greater power comes with greater responsibility. This morality is Ben 10,000's biggest limiter, but hold on, the peak is still coming. So think about it. Strength, radiation, time travel, Saiyajin DNA, infinite fusions, resurrecting yourself, and dying. All of this is real within what Ben has already shown or could theoretically do. But the biggest argument hasn't come into play yet, and of course I'm talking about him. But first, let's talk about some problems that could sabotage Ben, making it very difficult for him to have a chance of winning. Before all this talk about unlimited power, it's worth remembering that the Omnitrix wasn't born perfect. The original had a 10-minute limit per transformation, kept turning Ben into the wrong alien, and would even glitch as if it had been hacked. Even though the Omnitrix understands the situation better than Ben himself. Only after 5 years did Azimuth recalibrate everything. Ben started to truly use its potential. It's interesting to compare this with Goku. He also stumbled upon Super Saiyajin Blue, mastered Ultra Instinct by force, and it's as if each version of Ben is a training arc to use the watch without falling into traps. With the new versions, the Forced Evolution, the 1 million year simulator, there's something really underrated, which is the ultimate, the supreme, the evolution mode. A lot of people think it's just a strong mode, but actually, the watch takes the DNA of an alien and simulates its life in an extreme survival scenario for up to 1 million years, all compressed into seconds. It's literally a survive or die loop, forcing mutations that make the species lethal. This function turns average aliens into war monsters, and that's exactly what you're thinking could happen. Probably one of the most absurd things of all, the Supreme Saiyajin. Yes, the Ultimate Saiyajin. Well, with this, we would have an absurdly more powerful version, like Broly himself. The Saiyajins from Universe 6, for instance, are significantly more powerful, even compared to a Saiyajin with 1 million years of evolution. If we think about it, Kiabe and Caulifla, they all unlocked Super Saiyajin much more easily than Goku and Vegeta. The Universe 6 race is more evolved, lacking tails, making them significantly stronger than other races. Even by becoming an Ultimate Saiyajin, it would likely take significant time to match Goku and Vegeta's power. Ben lacks knowledge on using the Saiyajin and Ki. I leave this possibility for you to discuss in the comments below. Fans often forget that Ben 10,000 not only accumulates aliens but also upgrades the Omnitrix himself. The Omnitrix was his creation, not Azimuth's, and the Omnitrix allows him to fuse DNAs of new species even from a distance. So if Goku or Broly fought too close, they'd risk becoming generic material because he wouldn't need to touch them, he'd just need data. This, combinations, DNA absorption, upgrades, is crazy. We still haven't discussed Ben 10's ultimate form, Alien X, which is essentially his God mode, making all his other abilities pale in comparison. To properly analyze if Alien X would allow Ben 10 to solo the entire Dragon Ball multiverse, I will break it down thoroughly now. The time has come. Alien X is undoubtedly Ben's ultimate trump card, while everything discussed until now. DNA, Omnitrix, failsafe, supreme forms, they all depend on tactics and the situation. Alien X is the power to end the game. He can control time, alter reality, and create a new universe from nothing. He literally already did that when he failed to stop a destruction. He snapped his fingers, resetting everything and resurrecting everyone. Imagine Goku trying to counter that. Up to now, I think the Dragon Ball characters would have some defense, for various reasons I won't mention in the video, not to make it 30 minutes long. But if Alien X is basically a Deus Ex Machina character who can do anything, the fair comparison within Dragon Ball would be Zen-O, the king of everything. Zen-O doesn't fight. If something annoys him, he erases it with a gesture. Alien X does the same, but personally doesn't send other people to do the job. He is the army, judge, and executioner. In practice, it's a one-on-one between two characters who have the writer's authority, and whoever presses the button first wins. This is where the controversy arises. Why, even with all that power, doesn't Alien X act alone? Ben needs permission to use Alien X effectively. If he's insecure, distracted, or morally conflicted, Alien X becomes motionless and useless. The day Ben unlocked Alien X, he defeated a similar entity, yet he didn't keep using it constantly. Why? For Ben, total power isn't the answer. He prefers alternative solutions. This detail realistically decides the outcome. Ben isn't Zen-O. Zen-O lacks empathy and morality, existing only to destroy and create. Ben is a kid, even as an adult, with principles that limit his own ultimate weapon. In the middle of a real fight, with a Goku Blue giving it his all, a Vegeta, a Beerus, a Whis, Ben might hesitate. But that opening is all these characters need to turn the tables, because unlike Alien X, they don't stop to debate morality. They just fight. So, on paper, the unlocked Alien X, the Omnitrix, the DNA dump, and the failsafe are practically invincible. Technically, he has an answer for everything. He can rewrite the past, come back if he dies, become his own opponent. But in practice, Ben isn't just about potential. So realistically, based on everything that's been shown, without any fanfiction, Ben 10 could actually erase the Dragon Ball multiverse if he used everything without restriction. But in a real fight scenario, with his real mindset, it's much more likely that he would reach Zen-O's level, but would purposely stop before pulling the trigger and ending everything. That's using Alien X. He could have the power to do anything, but not actually do everything, not erase the Dragon Ball multiverse, and in the end, Goku and Ben would become friends. Despite Ben's abilities, including DNA manipulation, alien combos, time travel, nuclear radiation, ghost possession of Saiyajins, and Alien X's power to rewind the Tournament of Power, he could destroy the Dragon Ball universe, but would choose not to. That's why he's one of the most overpowered but morally bound characters in all of fiction. And now I want to know from you, if Ben Tennyson really wanted to, with no morals, no limits, who could stop him?